I just found an article the other day that interested me because of our theme in Zero Hour, that basically our country and many other regions around the world and countries may have to split into blue and red states because there just is such extreme political polarization, and red and blue just doesn't see eye to eye on hardly anything. So there's this article that says a poll shows 1 out of 4 Americans would like their state to secede from the Union. Now that's higher than I would have thought. And it ranged from 34% in the Southwest, that's Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, 26% in the Rockies, 25% in the Southeast, the broader Southeast, and I think it was like 21% in the Plain States. The lowest was 19% in good old all-American New England, and it was 23% in the Mid-Atlantic, they call it. I call that the Northeast. And the Great Lakes states were 22%. But I think the most striking thing, if you look at this map and these regions, is that, there's a whole blue state section, New England, Mid-Atlantic, or the Northeast, I call it, the Great Lakes states, the northern Midwestern states. Those together are contiguous states that basically are blue territory. Then you have on the West Coast, you've got California, Oregon, and Washington, contiguous states on the coast that are clearly blue states. The rest of the country, the Southeast, the Plains states, the Southwest, and the Rockies are pretty much solid red. And what really differentiates the red versus the blue states is rural areas. That's what really makes the difference. Now, so you have this higher ratio than you would expect, and these clear regions. We also have something reappearing that I talked about late last year. There was a movement in California, a petition being turned around that needed to get a certain amount of signatures to allow urban California to secede from rural. So this was kind of like a blue state initiative. Well, that didn't work out. The guy that was behind that ended up being some type of commie or something, communist, and ended up moving back to Russia, and that petered out. What you have now is a more credible movement in the legislature. So this is going through formal channels where rural California wants to secede from urban. They don't want all their taxes and high welfare and entitlements and stuff of the more affluent, more progressive states. And this rural California is called New California, who wants to secede, includes the whole northern part of California, the whole valley and western part, and it actually includes San Diego on the southern end. Obviously, San Diego, I'm hearing, is actually the only large city in California that is more red than blue. So that's New California. And then Old California would be basically Sacramento, San Francisco, down through LA and all along the coastal areas, which is more urban and which is more blue and liberal. So, this is something that may happen. Now, this whole thing may not go to this extreme that we literally break into 2 or 3 Americas. And again, Northeast, Great Lakes, 1, all the center in Plain States and Rockies and Southeast and Southwest, 2 red, and then a blue division over on the coast. And the 2 blue factions could stay together or they could be 2 separate. That could go either way. This does not have to happen, but certainly I think this would be a good thing because there is no way for our political system to voice similar concerns and values and make everybody happy because blue and red just don't see eye to eye anymore. And the greatest political polarization, as we point out in Zero Hour book, since the Civil War. And it may be the greatest political and social and cultural revolution since the American Revolution and the advent of democracy itself. So something big is getting ready to happen. And I think this is part of it. And we'll just continue to monitor these type of events because, this is the direction we seem to be going in. And if there's this much movement towards secession or red versus blue now, wait until we have a real downturn like we're forecasting, and people are a lot less happy politically, personally, economically, and everything else.